Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Jai Sripad Jai Jai Gurudev Jai. Hare Krishna, Madan Mohan Prabhuji. Our Srikant Prabhuji is not feeling well, so either you or our Achyut Prabhu or Shyam Prabhu, any one of you can fill the gap. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, our respect Maharaj, our Srikant Prabhu is not feeling well. So he has informed today morning early, early morning. So we want.
Have you done the Maradha Mata?
Yes, Maharaj.
Is anyone else is there to take class? Please find out.
Maharaj, Madan Manohar Prabhu is there online.
Yeah. Please try Madan Manohar Prabhuji whether you can take.
Yeah, he's agreed.
Shyam Prabhu also can take.
Prabhu, I need some at least half an hour for preparing. Maharaj, please. So Madan Manohar Prabhu is ready.
I'm not ready. Somebody just start the slope. What is the chapter?
619.6 hour.
1 second. 6, 19, 6. Reading the sloka. I just read it.
Acha, Sanatan Prabhu.
Yeah. I will read.
We can start. Read the sloka and the translation purport. So he will start the class then.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 19, Text 6. Vishnu Patni Mahamaye Mahapurusha Lakshane Priyata Me Mahabhage Loka Matar Namo Astute. Synonyms: Vishnu Patni, O wife of Lord Vishnu. Mahamaye, O energy of Lord Vishnu. Mahapurusha Lakshane, possessing the qualities and opulence of Lord Vishnu. Priyetaha, kindly be pleased. Upon me. Mahabhage, O goddess of fortune. Lokamataha, O mother of the world. Namaha, obeisances. Astu, may there be. Te, unto you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. After profusely offering obeisances unto Lord Vishnu, the devotee should offer respectful obeisances unto Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and pray as follows. O wife of Lord Vishnu, O internal energy of Lord Vishnu, you are as good as Lord Vishnu himself, for you have all of his qualities and opulences. O goddess of fortune, please be kind to me. O mother of the entire world, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. The Lord has multifarious potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. Since Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is the Lord's very precious potency, she is addressed here as Mahamaye. The word Maya means Shakti. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme, cannot exhibit his power everywhere without his principal energy. It is said, Shaktiman Abheda. The power and the powerful are identical. Therefore, Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is the constant companion of Lord Vishnu. They remain together constantly. One cannot keep Lakshmi in one's home without Lord Vishnu. To think that one can do so is very dangerous. To keep Lakshmi or the riches of the Lord without the service of the Lord is always dangerous, for then Lakshmi becomes the illusory energy. With Lord Vishnu, however, Lakshmi is the spiritual energy. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare
Shravan,
Krishna.
which slok is that?
619.6.
619.6. Okay, I was searching 16. Right. Yeah. So you read the purport. So we will get into the Bhagavatam Seva. Om Namo Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swaminiti Namane Nama Sadbhaktamanai Manipur Udbhavai Rupadila Satvani Prachara Niratayate Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarini Vancha Kalpatarurvyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanah Tam Namami Harim Param Sansara Sagare Magnam Deenam Mam Karunanide Karmagrahya Grihitangam Mam Uddhara Bhavarnavad Srimad Bhagavatam Pratyaksha Krishna eva hi Svikritosi Mayanata Mukyartam Bhavasagare. So we are continuing Bhagavatam, where the discussion is about the Punsavana Vrata that one has to undertake, especially the ladies, for one whole year, following all these particular principles. Like first you have to obey your husband, who is in the position of a guru, and then you have to hear the story about the appearance of the Maruts. The 49 Maruts means you have to do this Bhagavatam Shravan, Shrotya. And then after that, one has to properly actually worship Lord Vishnu. But even before worshipping Lord Vishnu, it is said here, you have to offer obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. So, we don't approach the Lord directly. We always approach the Lord through the means of his energy. So, energy in the form of a pure representative of the Lord, energy. In this way, we can actually approach the Lord. So, in this verse, it is said, the devotee should offer respectful obeisances unto Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and pray as follows. O wife of Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Patni, O internal energy, Mahamaya, Yoga Maya actually, you are as good as Lord Vishnu himself, for you have all the qualities and opulences. O goddess of fortune, please be kind to me. O mother of entire world, I offer my respectful obeisances. It's a funny thing. I was just remembering, we were somewhere in Delhi, and this was actually a Sanskrit conference, international Sanskrit conference, or this World Sanskrit Conference, and many Sanskrit-speaking people from all over the world had come there, and we had put up a BA bookstall there. So there was this one person who had come, and he was. And I was trying to explain, how do you say Bhagwan? He was saying Bhagwan means it has to be female. I asked him, how is that? We say Purusha. Purusha means an enjoyer. Generally, the Purusha is pulling or it is male. You cannot consider it as Striling or female. There is no chance. Somebody who is an enjoyer, what is ever enjoyed, that is considered as feminine. Prakriti or feminine, but the Purusha, the enjoyer, is generally, the male principle. So his definition was, he was saying this, we say Bhagavan, right? Bhag. That word Bhag, actually it has different meanings. And one of the meanings which here is opulences, actually. The Lord has all these Shadaishwarya. He's full of these opulences. But Sanskrit words, they have this specific thing that, this one particular word, it can have different meanings. The Bhagavan, that word Bhag, it could also mean the yoni, or the the organ, the generative organ of a female. So his point was that he was taking that meaning, and he was saying that the original absolute truth must actually be a lady. It cannot be a male. So his argument was like that. But either way around, the feminine principle, Krishna expands into Radharani, and from Radharani, all these different expansions, Lakshmi is actually the shadow of Radharani. So she is one, very partial expansion of Radharani, just one amsa. But this Mahalakshmi, she is a consort of Lord Vishnu, and the whole process of approaching the Lord is how we approach through the energy. Like we say Sita Ram. You don't say Ram Sita. That is not the way. And you say Hare Krishna, because Hara is again Radharani, the internal potency. So I was just remembering that. And Prabhupada is making this thing that Shakti Man Abeda. Like Nama and Nami Abeda on the absolute platform, the energy and the energetic both are the same. There is no difference actually. But for the sake of pastimes, Krishna has expanded like that. The feminine principle is also there. And then Mother Lakshmi is a goddess of fortune. She is a constant companion of Lord Vishnu, and they remain together constantly. So this is the main point. They are inseparable. Among Hiranyakashipu, he is asking Prahlad Maharaj, what is the best thing you have learned actually? You went to the Gurukul, you studied under all these qualified gurus, the disciples of Shukracharya. What is the best thing you have learned? And then Prahlad Maharaj was saying that, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedan Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhakti Chain Avalakshana Kriyate Tanmanyate Adda. What is that? Tanmanye Aditam Uttamam. So he says that this is a Uttama thing, this is a topmost thing. Kriyate Bhagavatyadda Tanmanye Aditam Uttamam. So he says this thing, this devotional principles, this Navada Bhakti is a topmost thing. And you see, soon after Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, you have this principle, Pada Sevanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, then Pada Sevanam. Because the etiquette is that we generally bring from, we start, even when we are having darshan of the Lord, we start from the lotus feet, and then we proceed up. Not that directly we go stare at a person at his face. This is not a very respectable thing. Even how do you say, when you meet great personalities also, it's like you maintain that humility, and you start from the feet of the person seeking his blessings, and then you go up. You actually see the person. This is a Vedic etiquette actually, Maryada. As soon as you see some elderly person, the first thing you do is like you kind of bow down and you touch that person's feet, seek his blessings, and then whatever discussion happens. So this is a proper procedure. So this Pada Sevanam, you see, Lakshmi ji is always constantly there at the lotus feet of the Lord, inseparable actually. And because of this continuous service, the Lord has also kindly, and all the tapasya she is doing, the Lord has also granted her a portion in the chest. So Srivatsa, that mark of Lakshmi ji, is there on the chest of the Lord. So you can see somebody who is always constantly serving, remembering the Lord, that person, he gets this position, he becomes very close to the Lord, close to the heart of the Lord actually. He gains a place in the heart of the Lord. And the Lord is always there in our heart. But for us to gain a place, a position in the heart of the Lord, this is not an ordinary thing. And the whole thing, it begins from this Padasevanam, how to become a dust at the lotus feet of the Lord. And then gradually we keep going up. So to keep Lakshmi or the riches of the Lord without the service of the Lord is always dangerous, because then that Yogamaya Lakshmi becomes Mahamaya, illusory energy. But with Lord Vishnu, however, Lakshmi is a spiritual energy. And the classical example is of Sita Devi. So Lord Ramchandra is actually Kala. Kala means the expansion of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. So this word Kala actually means Amsa's Amsa. Krishna's expansion is Amsa. That Amsa's expansion is called Kala. So Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. This, So our Lord Ramchandra, he's supposed to be actually a Kala. Amsa's Amsa. His consort, his energy, Sita Devi, Lakshmi Devi, she was actually kidnapped by Ravan. Trailokeshwar, right? Trailokeshwar Ravan, not ordinary person, the person who has conquered all the 3 planetary systems within the universe. But the thing is, because he did not favor the Lord, he did not favor Lord Ramchandra, so although he was such a powerful personality and he was capable of carrying away, Lakshmi Devi, Sita Devi, still he couldn't keep his 10 heads. All the 10 heads he lost. So we must understand that actually everything belongs to the Lord. This is a fundamental principle there. Everything belongs to the Lord. Whatever energy we have and whatever is manifested by the energy of the Lord, everything actually belongs to the Lord. And it is only appropriate if something belongs to a person, we at least, even if we cannot engage that, those articles in the service of the person, it is at least the etiquette that we request that person that we utilize this energy. This is a proper etiquette. This is a gentlemanly thing to do. Not that we just grab somebody's property and we enjoy to the maximum, which is what is going on. The proper procedure is that, we at least we request that person, sir, this is yours, please can I use it? So this is a proper etiquette. So that's why Lakshmi Ji, she is also worshipped. And then if you're trying to remove her like Ravan did and enjoy separately, then, she becomes immediately, she takes on this very Ghora Rupa of Kali, personified material energy. And then like a witch, she always keeps, slapping you and you keep getting all kind of problems. So one has to be very, very careful with Lakshmi Ji, the wealth. I'm also remembering one story. There is one story, a slightly different story. Just a second. There's something burning on that stuff. So what happened is that there was, these 2 nice friends, 2 of them. So 2 of them, these 2 friends, they heard that if you do all this tapasya, you can get a lot of wealth. You can become very famous and opulent and very well established. So both of them, they went to the forest and they were doing tapasya. But both of them, they started around the same time approximately. But after like 10-14 years of strong tapasya, the one of these friends, he became very upset, frustrated that I'm doing all this tapasya and I'm not getting any result. So he came over to check out on his friend, what is happening to his friend. He wanted to find out. When he came, he saw that this friend is married, he has a lot of children, there's a huge palatial building, all the wealth, cattle, horses, so many lands full of rice and grains. And he was amazed because they're both from a tiny village actually, and then this person has become so opulent. So he met his friend and he asked him, how long have you been doing tapasya and how quickly did you get the result? And this person said, I did it for 2-3 years. That's it. And then, I got all this opulence. So he was amazed because he has been doing it for 14 years. So he told him, I did this for 14 years and, I couldn't get any result. So this friend asked him, the one who is very opulent, asked him, who did you worship? So he said, I worshipped Mother Lakshmi, Lakshmi Devi, I worshipped her. And I still didn't get anything. So I became a little frustrated. Half my life is gone already. In my old age, what is the use of all this wealth to me? So the other person was saying, this opulent one, he was saying, oh, you did the wrong thing. I didn't worship Sri Devi. Sri Devi is Lakshmi's name. I worshipped her opposite, Mudevi. Mudevi means she's a bad one. The like opposite of Sri Devi, the goddess of fortune, and Mudevi is supposed to be the goddess of misfortune, because nobody does her worship. So I worshipped her, and she came immediately. In 2-3 years, she appeared before me, and I told her, "You please don't come to my house at all. Don't even turn and look at my house." So naturally, somebody has to be there in the house, and because the bad one is not there in the scene, so Lakshmi Devi had to come there or something. So he was giving this indirect way, how you can worship these bad things, and then you can get the good result. But this is not how it works, because it doesn't last all. Although this person, he spent a long time worshipping Mother Sri Devi, Lakshmi Devi, still there is no loss on the devotional. The Lord is kind. He does give. He does give one whatever one desires. But the thing is that one has to properly qualify himself before, Prabhupada used to say, you deserve and then you desire. You deserve it first and then you can desire. So unless one is fully qualified, Krishna does not give. But if one becomes fully qualified, you see, unlimited. Krishna gives you unlimited. Prabhupada's father used to tell him, you have 2 hands. How much you can hold on with your 2 hands? If Krishna wants to take away, the Lord has so many hands. But if Krishna wants to give you, how much you can grab, you can take with your 2 little hands. Because Krishna has thousands and millions, unlimited hands Krishna has. So the thing is, to achieve that stage of perfection, one has to really work very hard. But if one is going to take the shortcut like this, maybe in this lifetime, there may be some benefit, but it's not going to be eternal benefit. It will not last. So even when one is approaching this spirituality, one is on the path of spirituality, one is trying to take up, the proper procedure. Actually, there are so many people who will divert you like this. You go here, you go there. So it's very, very important that one has a bona fide guru who properly can guide one on the path of spiritual life. This is very, very essential. So Kashyap Muni, as a husband, he is a natural guru of the natural guru of the wife. Like the husband, the father, and the king, these 3 people are like natural gurus. They generally guide whoever is taking their shelter, whoever is dependent on them, they guide them. So, and Kashyap Muni is not an ordinary personality. So he is practically the father of all these different living entities, so many species of life. From his different wives, actually, all these species are manifested. So he's one of the Prajapatis. She's practically on the level of Lord Brahma. So this Kashyap Muni, he is advising her that this is a proper process. You accept my instructions, you follow it faithfully for 1 year. You hear the stories, the Bhagavatam, and then you worship the Lord, you worship Mother Lakshmi, and in this way, you will achieve the desired result. So Prabhupada is also making this statement, Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruvete. Shakti. The Lord has unlimited energies. We cannot even imagine the extent of the Lord energies, and not only unlimited in that sense, it is also ever expanding. So it's like totally inconceivable. Actually, we say this universe we are in. The scientists sometimes they say this universe is expanding. But this material expansion, probably after a time it will stop and then it will come back. There is a possibility of collapsing. Like a balloon, it blows up and then one day it bursts. So that possibility is there. But for the Lord, it is not like that. Eternally, these energies are increasing and they keep on increasing, actually. So when we say God is great, we have no understanding of the extent of greatness of the Supreme Personality of God. So that's why we shouldn't take devotional life, spiritual life, as something very ordinary. Because to even inquire about Brahman in a human form is something very wonderful. And then to work in a devotional way to achieve the highest perfection of life, to become very close and dear to the Supreme Lord, this is even much, much more wonderful. But the most wonderful thing actually is to be always engaged in the service of the Lord, understanding that I'm part and parcel of the Lord, with this full knowledge that the Lord is, unlimitedly powerful, unlimitedly capable, unlimitedly energetic, and he can do anything he wants, the Supreme Lord. So one somehow, is in the corner with the Lord. If he's able to have the Lord in his corner, there is nothing left to be accomplished. Most of our real problem is that we are not taking this very seriously. Because of this material conditioning, we think that, material life, Maya Devi, she's much more attractive than the Supreme Lord. But somebody, somehow, if he is deconditioned and he is able to have even a slight glimpse actually of the Lord, the extent of power the Lord possesses, the extent of beauty and attractiveness the Lord possesses, then, all these things, they become very insignificant. One becomes totally ekagra, totally focused. Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, this one-pointed focus on the Supreme Lord, it becomes a reality. So Diti, she's using all these means just to produce a son to kill another of her children. It's not a nice thing. As a mother, she should have thought about these things. But then, she's proceeding like that. And Kashyap Muni, like all these intelligent people, like the Guru, whatever propensity they have, they utilize that propensity, purify that person, and then make them devotees of the Lord. It's like a dancing monkey, all of them, we are all like that, dancing monkeys. And the Guru says, okay, you come, I'm going to dress you up nicely in Kantimala Tilak and all this wonderful dress. And then you dance for Krishna, you jump around for Krishna. So he presents us in front of the Lord like that. And Kashyap Muni is doing this in a very tricky way. You worship like this, you worship like that. So by the blessings of Mother Lakshmi, by the blessings of the Lord, Diti's consciousness over a year, when she is carrying out this vrata, it becomes purified. And rather than producing a child who become an asura, simply just to kill Indra, Devendra, the demigod, she is able to conceive of children, not just one, but many children who are all demigods. So this is a purifying power of the Lord. And Mother Lakshmi, she is always with the Lord and she is constantly supporting the Lord in this endeavor. I'll just say one small story and then we will finish. Sudama Vipra, right? Sudama studied in the Gurukul with Lord Krishna. So one time, both of them, they went to the forest to collect this wood for the fire sacrifice. And the Guru Patni, Guru Mata, Sandipni Muni's wife, she had given, both of them, but she didn't give both. She gave both the packets of prasadam to our Sudama. She said, you give it to Krishna. So Sudama, he packed that lunch in one cloth thing and he was carrying it with him. And then they went and they collected all this wood. And all of a sudden, there was very heavy rain. So both of them, they climbed up a tree and they were taking shelter, Krishna in one tree and Sudama in another tree. And, Sudama started feeling hungry and he opened his package, he ate everything. So Krishna's packet was there, he's supposed to give, but somehow, he ate that also. Lord's quota, right? So simply because of this one factor, what belongs to the Lord, he didn't give it to the Lord. simply because of this one thing. At least he could have asked, Krishna, I'm hungry, please let me eat. But no, he didn't even ask. Very silently, he ate everything. But because of this one factor, although he was a very qualified person, they say there are 26 kinds of poverty. Like there are 28 kinds of hell, there are 26 kinds of poverty, being poor in knowledge, being poor in wealth, not having lands, not having this, like that. There are different kinds of poverty. All these 26 kinds of poverty came and caught hold of. But see, the Lord's mercy was so much that because he Sudama was his friend, very close friend, the Lord still kept his consciousness intact in spiritual life. That he didn't become poor in that. Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya, even little bit, that devotional thing that, trayate mahatobhaya, it is always protecting. So even under all these circumstances, when all these 26 kind of poverty became his children, and, practically they had no clothes, he was suffering like anything, unlimitedly, still the Lord always kept him in a full state of Krishna consciousness. So that when his wife, Sushila, she suggested, you please go meet Krishna. She said, we don't have anything even to offer him. What will I do? So she somehow went out, she borrowed, and she bought these, chip rice that she fried a little bit, and she packed it in a cloth, a clean cloth, and she gave it to her. So when he came to Dwaraka, Krishna came running out, my dear friend, and hugged him. And he was saying, Kwaham daridra papiyan, what kind of sinful rascal I am, daridra, most fallen. Kwa Krishna Sri Niketana, where is the Lord who is abode of the goddess of fortune? Brahma Bandhu, I'm not even a qualified Brahmana, I'm simply a relative of a Brahmana. Brahma Bandhu iti smaham bahubhyam parirambita. He just hugged me like that. The Lord is so kind. And then somehow Krishna came to know that, Babi has given him something. His wife has sent something for him. So he somehow grabbed that thing and he ate one mouth. He ate two mouths. He was about to eat the third mouth of chip rice, which Sudama had, kept under his armpit and was literally soaked with sweat and salt. And, it was not in very good condition. But, out of that love that Krishna ate this. But when I was about to eat the third mouthful, Rukmini Devi caught his hand. But you will only eat everything, we are all there. She stopped him. And the Acharyas, they explained that she did that because if Krishna is eating once, all the fortune will go to that person's house. If he's eating a second time, these fortunes will become unlimited. Whatever wealth and other opulences will become unlimited. But if Krishna eats the third time and he becomes satisfied with that, Lakshmi Devi has to go permanently sit in that person's house. She cannot move from that. So that's why Rukmini Devi catches his hand. No, don't do that. It's enough. So you see, when one becomes a nice devotee of the Lord, so much blessings are there. Good fortune arises in one's life. And Kashyap Muni is guiding Diti to come to that level, to promote her consciousness to that particular level, the highest stage of Krishna consciousness. So, thank you very much for your patient listening. Any questions, any comments? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for filling the gap and taking the class. Yeah, thank you for this wonderful class. Yes, if anyone is having any questions regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Grace Madan Manohar Prabhu. Yes, Shyam Kishore Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Jai Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat.
We are reading in the purport that the Maya means Shakti. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme, cannot exhibit his power everywhere without his principal energy.
So this line, can you little bit explain? Means how the Lord works. Means he cannot exhibit his power without everywhere without his principal energy. So this line, if you can elaborate.
Yeah, and they are talking about actually Radharani here. The principal energy means Radharani actually. So without Radharani, Krishna is feeling very vacant actually. The Supreme Lord. That's a beauty of the thing, we see people, Acharyas, they tell us, you become a devotee of Krishna, right? But Krishna is also a devotee of his devotee. So Krishna is actually a devotee of Radharani. The Guru Parampara, when we go all the way, we come to Krishna, Krishna is the Supreme Guru, Adi Guru. But Krishna is saying, Radharani is my Guru. And Radharani is the topmost devotee as well as the principal energy. So Krishna is also saying, I take her dust, from her lotus feet. And this is how I am running and maintaining the universe. So the Lord, when he speaks, he doesn't speak jokingly, whatever he says, it is actually the absolute truth. So when he's saying, I'm dependent on Radharani, this is what he's saying. The Lord cannot exhibit all these variegatedness unless, Radharani is there. In Vrindavan, I remember this story about this Babaji, who was a very nice devotee of the Lord. I don't know, the Brajavasis, they say this. Whether it is true or not, I don't know. So his beard or hair, jata they have, right? They don't cut or shave the thing. His beard or either his hair got caught in one of the thorny bushes. So he was just staying there, not moving, and saying, whoever made me get caught like this, that person will come and save me. And then, after so many 1 or 2 days, Krishna couldn't take it anymore. My devotee suffering. He came there, appeared, and said, "Okay, Baba, I will pull it out." And he said, "No, you don't touch. I don't know who you are." So then, Krishna said, "I am the Supreme Lord. I am Sri Krishna." I said, "No, I cannot believe you are Krishna. You could be some Mayavi, you could be anybody else. Okay, how can I prove that I'm Krishna?" And then he said, I want Radharani also with you. Both of you come, then I will accept, okay, you're Krishna. Because you see, Krishna has so many expansions, right? So he can play any trick anytime, just to bewilder. We are all fallen souls. But in front of Radharani, Krishna cannot do all this. Krishna he will be there in the original form. He cannot do this or that. It's not possible because Radharani's quality of love is so supreme that Krishna is completely bound by that, and he cannot do all this trickery and tomfoolery there in front of Radharani. So when Radharani also came, then he said, "Okay, now you can pull my beard out." So this is the thing, So Krishna is also the devotee of his devotee. That's why a devotee's position is much more glorified than actually being, with the Supreme Lord himself directly. This Brahmana is praying, let me become, what is that, servant of Nanda Maharaj, whose order Krishna obeys, and he is carrying the slippers on my head. I want to be there somewhere. There is this very nice thing. It's not like, the Lord is independent, but that's his causeless mercy, that beautiful thing that, he's also completely dependent on his devotee. He wants to do this job, he's depending on the devotees actually to do that. So without Radharani's help, Krishna feels like, oh, I cannot do anything. Like we say, ekaki amar nahi paaye bal. So Krishna is also feeling like that. Oh, I am alone, what will I do? I cannot do anything. I need Radharani, I need all these devotees. So this is a beauty of the thing. Thank you, Babu.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Please.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, anyone else would like to ask any further question? If so, please.
See, it's also said, one cannot keep Lakshmi in one's home without Lord Vishnu. To think that one can do so is very dangerous. Because we are thinking we are the proprietor of Lakshmi. At one point I missed. So don't keep unnecessary wealth in your place. without having the Lord also, the form of the holy name, in the form of a deity. Somehow or other, the Lord has to be there. And if you have these four things, the Lord is definitely there. If there is Tulsi Maharani, if there is Ganges water, if there is Bhagavatam, and if there is a devotee, in a place where these four things are there, the Lord is always there. And then money will be safe. Lakshmi ji will be safe there. But if these things are not there, then you can understand that it is very dangerous. That money will become a source of all kinds of problems. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu, there is no question, but
Yeah.
I wanted, if Sanatan Prabhu moderator he allows, today is Gundicha Marjan at Puri, so maybe a little bit, if you 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, if you can speak something on that significance of.
Maybe Maharaj, somebody is there, they can talk. It will be better to hear from a sannyasi.
Yeah, some of our sannyasis, if they can speak something on.
You can, Prabhuji, Madan Manohar Prabhu.
Oh, okay. So you see, Puri, when they have this Rath Yatra, they take Jagannath in the Rath and they go that big road is there, that main road, highway. In that highway, Jagannath goes all the way, like nearly maybe 1.5 kilometers. And then we have this Gundicha Marjan, Gundicha temple, where, Lord Jagannath, he takes the rest and he is fed, all these opulent prasadam. And then after some days, Jagannath again comes back to. So this place, Gundicha, is actually considered to be like Vrindavan. And this Puri, Jagannath Puri, is actually Lakshmi Devi's place. It's a Aishwarya Kshetra. But Lord Jagannath's form is such that both these things, Aishwarya as well as Madhurya, both you can have darshan, Lord Jagannath. But in itself, Puri is supposed to be, because he's Jagatnath, this Aishwarya is much more prominent than the Madhurya. So when he goes there to Vrindavan and when he comes back, Lakshmi ji becomes very upset. Oh, you're going having all these dalliances with your paramour and all that. So this Gundicha temple plays a very important part in this Jagannath Rath Yatra. And Mahaprabhu, he is teaching us that how you can make your heart as good as Vrindavan by purifying it. So on this particular day, he collected thousands of devotees, and all the while doing ecstatic kirtan, they were actually sweeping and cleaning this place, Gundicha Marjan. How to clean your heart to welcome the Lord. Once, twice, thrice, 4 times, so many times they clean, and still, there would be some little dust here and there. The Mahaprabhu, he was teaching that, cleaning your heart, cleansing the heart, to make it a fit place for the Lord to come, because the Lord never leaves Vrindavan actually. So if you're making a heart as good as Vrindavan, completely pure and completely Krishna conscious, then Krishna will come in. Otherwise, he'll be simply sitting aloof like the Paramatma as an expansion, and he will be guiding you, oh, you do this, you do that, like that. But when Krishna is there, it's a whole different story. So how to clean this Gundicha Marjan today? This is a proper process that Mahaprabhu is displaying. Not only they swept the place so many times, not even one speck of dust was there. They brought all these water, and they were pouring all these water and cleaning the place very nicely, very thoroughly. And the devotees, they were also continuously chanting. So this chanting, Chetodarpana Marjan, is actually this Gundicha Marjan. It's a proper activity that one is doing, that when you're doing that, your heart, over a period of time, repeated effort, your heart becomes completely pure. Then Mahaprabhu, he garlanded all those devotees who were there, and then, he offered them very sumptuous Mahaprasadam. This prasadam is actually the mercy of the Lord. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasyopajayate. Prasade means the mercy of the Lord. So to get the mercy of the Lord, one has to put in all this effort. It's not an ordinary thing. The Lord has to become very favorable to you, very dear to you, so dear to you that he can come right into your heart. Then, you have to put in all this effort. This Chetodarpana Marjan has to be performed. So it's a very nice thing, pastime, and generally in all the temples all over the world, today they completely clean the temple very nicely, actually. The temple and the temple surroundings, they clean very nicely. All the marble, the altar, everything is washed, not once, twice, but 3 or 4 times very nicely to make the place very sparkling. Because cleanliness is next to godliness. So you cannot be fully godly, at least the next stage, being clean. This is what Mahaprabhu is trying to teach us, how to come to that level of purity. Thank you, Prabhu. If somebody wants to add, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
What happened to Srikant actually? Srikant Prabhu?
He said he is not feeling well. Somehow he.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we may conclude for
Can
today.
find out, no?
Yeah.
Jai. Jai Guru Maharaj Srila Sripad ki jai, Jagat
Jai.
Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai,
Jai.
Gundicha Marjan Maha Mahotsav ki jai, BA
Jai.
Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Thank you.
His Grace Mother Manohar Prabhu ki jai. Thank you all
Jai
for
Sripad
joining.
Maharaj ki jai. Hare
See you
Krishna.
all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.